Hey guys, Michelle here. I remember back when my kids were really young and I was running a law practice and just had my hands in a lot of things and life felt really, really full. And I remember that I used to keep telling myself that this was just a really busy season. And once, I was able to settle that case, or once my kids slept through the night, or once this project wrapped up, or once we got through the holidays, or once things slowed down, life was going to get easier. And what I've noticed working with a lot of high achieving women who are also raising kids over the years is that it never actually does. It never actually gets easier because there's always the next thing, right? There's the next project and the next transition and the next thing that your family needs from you. And the women I work with are just so capable. You guys are so committed, and it's also exhausting, right? For waiting for that relief that just doesn't come. So I have created and want to offer you something different. On June 3rd, I'm hosting a free live workshop called the Capacity Audit. And in just 60 minutes, you're going to find out exactly where your nervous system needs to expand so that your full life stops feeling like too much. It's not so much about doing less or scaling back or overhauling your whole schedule, but I want to teach you where you can get exponentially better at handling all the things you're handling. So you're going to leave with your personal capacity profile. And I'm really excited about this part, your single highest leverage move. You're going to know exactly the one thing that you need to go out and change so that your days actually feel different. So it's free. I'm teaching it live. There is going to be a replay available for a limited time, but I would love to see you there. You can go ahead and register. The link for it is in the show notes. Grab your spot, or you can go to michellegrosser.com/audit. All right, let's jump into today's episode. Welcome to the Motherhood Podcast, the show for ambitious women who also happen to be raising kids. I'm your host, Michelle Grosser. I'm a certified master life coach, attorney, wife, and mom. Each week, I'm going to coach you to do the work that builds an exceptional life. We'll talk all things motherhood, mindset, and emotional well-being so that you can create a life designed by faith over fear. It's time to break through whatever's holding you back. It's time to extend your self-compassion, refocus your intention, raise your vibe, and alchemize the parts of you that will lead to a deep spiritual transformation. You are worthy of an extraordinary life in and beyond motherhood. If you're here to do the inner work and you're ready to expand, I'm here to join you on the journey. Each time you press play, your growth continues. So let's do it. I'm Michelle Grosser, and this is Motherhood. What's up, friends? Welcome to the Motherhood Podcast. I'm your master coach, Michelle Grosser, and today we are talking all about seeking validation. And I just wanted to bring you guys a few thoughts about kind of where we're seeking our validation and our approval, whether we're qualified, right? Whether we're worthy, all of these things, and how it really impacts, one, I think how we see ourselves, two, the decisions we make, like our decision-making process, and three, how we're actually showing up in the world around us. And I have a couple things on my heart that I want to share with you, but before we jump into it, I also want to share with you that at the beginning of this year, I've been part of a podcasting mastermind. So I'm only a couple weeks in, but it's already so incredible. I'm connecting with women from all around the world who are fellow podcasters. And together, we're just meeting every week and really pouring into, what's working for our shows, opportunities, areas of growth, and just giving each other feedback as we try to reach new heights, reach new audiences, but ultimately just serve you guys better, just serve you better content, give you what it is that you're needing and wanting, and connect with you in a better way. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. The content here on the Motherhood Podcast is going to stay the same. I'm still going to be bringing you guys information about motherhood and parenting, but more so really just taking care of you as the woman, as the mom. I think that's so important. We're going to keep doing that, but we're going to be niching down a little bit. I think you're going to see the Motherhood Podcast, as you can imagine, right, is quite broad, but I really want to start serving working moms. And I just think that's really where my heart is, because having a business, being a leader in a business is really hard. It's really hard. And then motherhood is really hard. Marriage can be really, like, it just takes a lot. Keeping up a home can be a lot. And trying to do all of these things together, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of nervous system regulation. It takes a lot of good systems and mindsets and habits. And that's really where my heart is. I just really want to help you working moms, you business owning moms, you high achieving moms, you ambitious moms. And I just really want to continue to pour into you. So we're going to keep doing that. Going to bring you more resources on regulating your nervous system. I think that's really the base for everything. That's really where it starts. So when you find moments where you're feeling overwhelmed, anxious, burnt out, whatever it is, you're facing, feeling less than, comparison, you're just burning the candle at both ends. I just really want to be able to help resource you and give you tools that you can have in your back pocket and that you can bring out at the moment when you are feeling overwhelmed or burnt out. And because it's not an if, right? It's a when. We all have moments that we feel like that. And the thing is, I want to be able to give you guys tools so you can hold it all gracefully. I know how much you're holding. I've been there. I'm holding it too. I want you to be able to hold it gracefully. And I want you to be able to, if you so desire, even hold more. Even hold more. Because I know you have big dreams for your family. I know you have big dreams for how you want to show up. You have big vision for your business. You want to show your kids that they can do all the things that they're passionate about. They can have businesses, they can be professionals, and they can also take really good care of their families, however that looks, right? So I just want to give you guys all the tools you can model for that. So all that to say, we're going to keep doing a lot of the same stuff, but it is going to start looking and maybe sounding a little different around here. I have a new name for the podcast that's going to be released in the next week or so. Brand new cover art. So if you guys pull up your app over the next few episodes and you don't, see the Motherhood Podcast title and you don't see my picture that you're used to and that purple blazer, like just take a little further look in your favorite podcast, because I am still going to be there, but it's just going to look differently. So I'm so excited for this new journey, and I just want to thank all of you for your patience and your continued support as I continue to evolve and grow this podcast, because it's really what we're all doing here, right? We're just evolving and growing in our humanity. So I love you guys and I'm grateful for that. But that being said, let's just jump into this seeking validation. And I really want to ask you guys, where are you seeking validation? Different parts of your life. Where are you seeking validation? Just kind of want to leave that with you guys today, because we all have this human need to be accepted. We all have this need to be loved, to feel secure, right? Within that comes feelings of, am I being judged? Am I enough? Am I good enough? Am I a good enough mom? Am I a good enough wife? All the crap that's out there, right? Like, am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I interesting enough? Am I all of the things? But really, like, what's the benchmark? Like, who says, right? Who sets the standard? And when we're evaluating who we're allowed to speak into our worthiness, who we're allowing to validate us, what we're allowing to validate us, in whatever sphere of our life, we're really only ever playing one of two games. There's only two games we can play in this game of validation. There's the outside in game, and there's the inside out game. Have you ever caught yourself wondering why you do the things you do? Like, why do you get so angry and yell at your kids when they're moving at a snail's pace in the morning? Or why is it so hard to relax when the house is a mess? If so, you've got to take my personality patterns quiz. Because here's what's going on. When you were a child, whenever an experience overwhelmed your nervous system, you subconsciously built a defense against that overwhelm. And over time, those defenses became a habit, and then they became a pattern. And now as an adult, what we think of as our personality is really actually often this defense pattern running the show. It's so interesting, right? There's 5 different personality patterns, and they're not personality types like the Enneagram or the Myers-Briggs, but rather they describe the safety strategy that you immediately go to when you start to feel overwhelmed. They don't describe who you are, but rather what's actually blocking who you are. And the good news is that once you take the quiz and you learn about your pattern, you can learn skills to break out of that pattern and then live and parent as your true and authentic self. So click on the quiz link in the show notes or go to michellegrosser.com/quiz now to take my 2-minute personality patterns quiz. And the outside in game is where we're looking to everything external to set and say who we are. We're allowing our bank account to tell us our worth. We're allowing Instagram to tell us how we need to look or what our homes need to look like or all these different activities we need to be doing with our kids. I don't know. We need, there's a standard for beauty. There's a standard for fitness. There's a standard for our jobs. Everything's on the outside. And it's coming from culture, parents, caregivers, movies, our husbands, like whatever it is, it's always an outside in game. And if we're allowing those things on the outside, our car, our house, our bank account, what we look like, the number on the scale, whatever, to make us feel good about ourselves on the inside, if we're allowing our kids straight A report card to make us feel good, if we're allowing, the jewelry we're wearing to make us feel good, if we're allowing whatever it is, right? If we're allowing that stuff to give us our value and our confidence and our worth, that's an outside in game. And the other game you can play is the opposite. The other game is an inside out game. And that's where your worthiness, all of your validation, all of your qualifications, being entitled and deserving of love and acceptance and approval, it all comes from the inside. It's not about what anyone else says about you. It's not what anyone else thinks. It's not about all the shoulds. It's really about finding that internal gauge, that internal benchmark against which you measure things. And it's only ever against yourself, right? So it's a knowing intrinsically that I am worthy. There is a purpose on my life. I am called, right? I am beautiful. I am healthy. All of these things from the inside. Because the truth is that your worthiness is never being tested. And I'm going to say that again. It's something that I've been repeating to myself over and over and over. My worthiness and your worthiness is never being tested. We all face different tests in our life, right? We face these trials, we face these challenges in our marriage, at work, in our personal life, in motherhood, raising our kids. Like all around us, there's challenges and things that we're working through. But in all of that, your worth is never being tested. You have maximum worth. Maximum worth. You had maximum worth the day you were born. You had maximum worth on the day that you die. And you have maximum worthiness every single day in between. Because that is determined by your creator. It has nothing to do with anything on the outside. You never have more worthiness. You never have less worthiness. You always have 100% maximum worthiness every freaking moment. So you have to get to a place where you can truly find that peace and that validation about who you are from the inside. Really believe it. And really get to a place where you love yourself and you're caring for yourself because you deserve it and because you're worthy. And we all have moments where we feel insecure. We all have moments where we're stuck in a comparison trap. We all have moments where we struggle, imposter syndrome, moments where we struggle with self-doubt. We really have to ask ourselves in those moments, am I playing an outside-in game right now? Or am I playing an inside-out game? Because the truth is that when you're stuck feeling insecure, when you're stuck in comparison, when you're stuck in imposter syndrome, self-doubt, it's probably because some part of you is playing an outside-in game. And you're allowing something on the outside to make you feel a certain way. And maybe it's even making you feel better temporarily, momentarily, right? But it's probably going to make you feel worse. And either way, it doesn't really matter if you're playing an outside game because it's never going to satisfy. And the same is true when you're making decisions, Should I take this job? Should I buy this house? Should I inject something into my face. Like, I don't know, whatever your thing is. But I do know that if you're playing an outside game to try to fill something within you that feels like it's missing, if you're playing an outside in game to seek validation and to feel satisfied, worthy, loved, fulfilled, secure, beautiful, all of these things that we seek as humans, you're never going to find peace when you're playing the outside in game. Because you're never going to find that validation because it's a never-ending climb. Like, it's a slippery slope. There's no peak. There's always more, right? There's always more money. There's always a lower number on the scale. There's always a smaller dress size. There's always a bigger house. There's always something. There's always someone else who looks like they're doing it better than you are. Whatever it is, if you're playing the outside in game, you're just never going to get there. It's the reason why people who seem to have it all can be so miserable, right? Because they're playing the outside in game. And it's a losing game every single time. So I just want to encourage you guys, the next time you're feeling a little less than, the next time maybe you're feeling stuck in comparison, you're not feeling great about something about yourself, you're letting that self-doubt creep in, you're wondering, am I enough? You're making a decision. I want you to ask yourself, like, am I playing an outside-in game or an inside-out game? Do I actually want this? Why am I doing this? Is this true about who I am? Does this actually bring me joy? Is this actually important to me because I care about it? Does it actually make me feel good? Because you have to know where your worthiness comes from. You have to know what it's tied to. And it has nothing to do with anything outside of you. You are always worthy. Your validation has to come from that place. You, my friends, are going to learn how to play an inside-out game. I love you guys all so much. I'll talk to you next time. Be well.
If you love Mommy's Podcast, leave a review.
If you enjoyed this episode, it would be so awesome if you could take a moment to subscribe and rate the podcast. And if you have just a few more seconds to leave a quick review, they really help to get this podcast out to other moms like you. I read every last review, and trust me, when it's late at night or early in the morning before my kids get up and I'm working on bringing you all of this content, your reviews are what keep me going. Leaving a review is truly the best way you can thank me. And of course, DM me on Instagram at themotherhood.podcast. I love to hear from you. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Motherhood Podcast. Head over to the show notes for this episode and all past episodes at michellegrosser.com, where you'll find free resources, information on how to join and participate in the Motherhood Village, and more ways to connect with me. If you love the show, share it with a friend. Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you next time.